Good morning from Zangla. We are on a drive from Chandigarh to Leh, and this is where we pause. We are driving the all-new Nissan Tekton, and we have spent 2 days, close to 500 kilometers and a fair bit of altitude with it. And today we'll tell you everything about it, how it drives, how it's built, the quirks of the car, and how it actually is like to live with it for a few days. After this leg, we'll switch to the 1-liter manual and tell you the experience of that car when we are on the way to Leh. So the drive spans across 3 days. Day 1 was driving from Chandigarh to Manali. Day 2 was Manali to right here in Zangla, crossing the beautiful village of Jispa. And day 3 will be from Zangla and it closes out in Leh. Now for the first 2 days, we drove the 1.3-liter turbo petrol engine with the DCT automatic transmission, and for the last leg, we'll switch and swap to the 1-liter manual of the Tekton. Day 1 was mostly highway and city traffic funneling out of Chandigarh, and this is where the T280, the 1.3 turbo petrol, first showed its character. It's a 4-cylinder unit and that shows how settled it feels even at idle and at low speeds with no vibrations creeping into the cabin. The DCT gearbox is smooth in traffic, and once the roads opened up past Bilaspur, it had no trouble holding highway speeds comfortably. Day 2 is where this engine had to actually work, climbing out of Manali towards Jispa through the twisties and the sharper inclines, and this is where the turbo made itself useful. Whenever I needed a quick burst to overtake a larger vehicle or just to keep pace with the rest of the convoy on an incline, it only took a tap of the throttle, no waiting around for the power to arrive. On the sections where the road opened up, it was happy to hold good speeds too. That said, the 7-speed DCT wasn't flawless through this stretch, and for most of the drive it's smooth and unobtrusive, but on some of the steeper inclines it did seem to struggle a little. Part of that could just be the altitude, and part of it is probably the gearbox holding back deliberately to avoid overworking itself. That's actually where the paddle shifters came in useful. Through some of those tighter and steeper inclines, flicking down a gear manually got the power in faster than letting the DCT sort itself out. They respond quickly, and pulling a downshift gets you a noticeably sharper dash of power when you need it. The brakes are worth a mention too. Discs on all 4 wheels, and they do the job well. If I'm being picky, they could be slightly sharper in outright bite, but that's a minor note on what otherwise is a composed, confident car through some of the fairly demanding sections. 3, 2, 1. Now design-wise, Nissan says that it draws heavily from its elder sibling petrol, but we also know that the Tekton shares its underpinnings with the Renault Duster in India. But what Nissan has done really nice here is given the Tekton its own visual identity. So what adds to that is the chrome elements here, the C-shaped LED DRLs, and also same treatment for the tail lamps. Even the alloy wheel design, it's a multi-spoke design, and the different color options that you don't see with the Duster, it's also a good differentiating factor. 2 days in and the interior now feels quite familiar. The infotainment system, now this is Google powered and it's slightly tilted towards the driver, so it's quite easy to use. And the instrument cluster, that's fully digital, you can customize it, have different type of layouts, and has almost all the information that you need when you drive the car. Now slightly odd thing here is the placement of the button of the cool seats. So earlier, when I was on the first day of the drive, it was difficult to find, only to realize that the button is placed on the seat here. So there are a few quirks, you get time to get used to it, but nothing that really feels odd or out of place. The Google built-in system is one of the stronger parts of this car. There's a lot to do on it: maps, Gemini, vehicle commands, and most of it just works without friction. It's the kind of integration that removes the need to reach out for your phone. Special mention for the boot. At 518 liters, it comfortably swallowed the bags for all 4 of us across this entire trip, and then some more, including our refreshments and odd souvenir along the way. No complaints there at all. Now the steering wheel too here is really nice to hold. Instead, it skips the usual circular shape and has this flat bottom design, something very different which both Nissan and Renault has tried. And also the navigation, you can have it directly on the instrument cluster and you don't really have to use it through the infotainment system. I used it throughout the instrument cluster. And now the front and the second row seats, they're genuinely comfortable over the long stints, and I've also liked how the panoramic sunroof is. It extends all the way to the rear, so the view from the back seat is also genuinely good. A couple of things stood out as less convincing though. The center screen and the AC vents are both angled slightly towards the driver, which means the co-driver ends up with only one usable vent. And the cabin theme itself, a cream and burgundy combination, is quite different from what you would expect if you know the Duster underneath. It's clearly going for a premium feel, but even after 4 days with it, it didn't fully win me over. Now here's something to consider if you're cross-shopping this against the Duster. Now the Duster's 1 litre manual maxes out at actually the Techno variant, which is a mid-spec variant. But with the Tekton, you get the same engine in the Tekna variant. The Tekna variant sits second to top and it offers a lot more features than the Techno variant of the Duster. Now these features include powered front seats, cooled seats, and also wireless charger, ambient light, ADAS features, and a whole lot more. And the price of it is 15,39,000. And the Techno variant, that one is 15,29,000. So for almost the same price, you have the option to choose between two things: a smaller engine with more features with the Tekton, or the Renault Duster with a more powerful engine but lesser features. And that's late. We've finally wrapped up our last leg of 170 kilometers from Zangla to Leh in the same 1.3 litre Turbo DCT engine that we started with the trip. And if I had to pick one stretch from all the 3 days, it has to be the last one with the most scenic views of the entire drive. The mountains kept changing shape, size and color through the whole run, and a lot of this road has been newly paved, which honestly made the drive even more enjoyable. No swapping cars, no change of pace, just this engine and gearbox doing the same composed job it did climbing into Chispa right through the highest stretch of the trip. So quickly, where does that leave us with the new Nissan Tekton? Although it shares the same mechanicals with the new Renault Duster, Nissan has tried to play a bit differently when it comes to the looks and also the interior theme, not to forget the most value for money, lower variants of the Nissan Tekton. Now this 1.3 litre Turbo Petrol DCT engine held up quite well across all the 3 days across mixed terrains, broken roads, steep inclines, well-paved roads, and the performance was something quite adequate. And not to forget, it places itself in one of the most crowded spaces and the most contested segment in the Indian market right now. And Nissan right now, with its most mechanical thing, can be one of the things that you can consider it as a cross-shopping. However, there are different things in the segment that offer hybrid powertrains, more tech, different looks, and are more established and strong rivals. Will you consider the Nissan Tekton? Let us know in the comments below. And something for you to decide if this cross-shopping is something worth considering.